My name's Art Napolitano. I've been in direct selling and distribution for almost 35 years. I've worked in the United States, where I'm basically from the Boston area. I live on Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. It's my permanent home. I have a second home, an apartment on the beach in Malaga, Spain. Today, I'm doing this call from London. We just finished an event for 200 people, and I've invited some friends from the United States who are just starting with Zinzino as a business to be part of this opportunity presentation. If you're new to Zinzino, I want to talk to you so you understand more about the company. I want you to understand more about what makes Zinzino different and not just another pill and potion company. And I want you to understand about the income opportunity, which is really, one of the big attractions for me. But of course, it all starts out with what's important in your life. I would say, some people would say money. Some would say their spirituality, love, family, all those things are important. But if you don't have health, what do you have? So it comes back to health. And I want to talk to you about Zinzino and what attracted me after being 25 years with another direct selling company where I created well over $1 billion in sales. I built over 1 million customers. I attracted tens of thousands of business partners. I worked from Australia, New Zealand, Colombia, Mexico, US, Canada, but predominantly I spent a lot of time in Europe. 20 years ago, had an apartment in the Netherlands, and I opened European countries. So my goal was to teach people how to make extra money, and then some went on to full-time incomes, and even some went on to earn tens of thousands of income per month. So when I looked at Zinzino, it was out of necessity because the company I was in was going through a transition and not going to continue in their international markets. It turned out to be a blessing in disguise, as you've heard the saying, but this truly was. The first thing I wanted was a company that wasn't in its infancy where the risk was high, and I didn't want to be in a company that was in the billion-dollar category where there's only a few in our industry that do that, because the odds of them doubling and tripling are not really great. So when I saw Zinzino, a company founded by Hilda and Orion Sali, I knew of them because I'd run through Scandinavia. The company was only in Scandinavia. It evolved from coffee into wellness, and I heard friends of mine, in fact, friends I trained went there. Even a friend I trained and worked with built his own skincare and sold the line to Zinzino. And I could learn all about this because they were publicly traded. You could actually look at their audited financials. And it was really impressive when you looked at the fact that if you invested in this company, you received a dividend each of the last 10 years, right through the pandemic. And that's incredible. Zinzino started up in Sweden and Norway and Scandinavia, evolved through Europe. Now they're in 45 countries. They have another 15 countries they're ready to fully launch. They're delivering to over 100 countries. Social entrepreneurship is at their hearts. In other words, we don't sell the products through traditional stores and outlets. We use a distribution mechanism called direct selling or networking, where individual people can start a business for very little money. In fact, you could start your business for free, get an online store, and earn profits from acquiring customers. And if you develop a network of shops, you can override those shops or stores and earn some pretty incredible incomes. So Zinzino is not a startup. They're right at the edge of the bell curve where they're about to explode. In fact, if you look at their sales from 2005 to recently, and since 2019, they started to hit the side of that bell curve where they're grabbing the curve and they're ready to elevate. They did roughly 176 million euros in sales last year. And they are projected to top this year in 2025. They'll top 1 million customers. But that's just the beginning of where Zinzino is going. Everything in me, all my business experience that I've accumulated over the years, tells me that we are looking at a multi-billion-dollar company. Now, if I'm a guest listening to that, I'm thinking, okay, prove it to me. Is this real? I've heard these stories before. But let's just look at what makes Zinzino different. Our objective is to pioneer test-based nutrition as a global megatrend. Test-based nutrition. Now, you go to your annual physical, you get a blood panel. But the one thing they're not testing you for is what Zinzino is testing you for. And you're going to find out how important the metric of having a fatty acid test really is. So one of the great things about what we do in direct marketing or direct selling is we go face to face, person to person. And we've been able to, with Zinzino, talk to people, educate them about a very important thing. And just by having the mission be raise awareness to what's going on with their fatty acids in their body and how that affects overall health, that is turned into such a success that is growing faster and faster. So when I looked at the whole market of wellness, I realized the global dietary market is projected to grow from 167 billion in 2023 to 239 billion by 2028. There's already a billion people buying supplements, vitamins, and there's 1.5 billion people using some kind of specialized diet. But what's interesting is 500,000 people are taking omega-3, and I was one of those people. And the big problem and the opportunity is tied to the fact that according to the World Health Organization, 6.3 billion people worldwide are deficient in omega-3. Now, with science evolving, with medicine evolving, we should see, illnesses and sicknesses on the decline, yet so many things are growing according to the experts. We're seeing testing for what we're testing is going to continue to grow until we believe that there'll be, a billion people tested in the future. In fact, we think that goal will be by 2050. And all the people taking supplements, if you ask them, how do you know they really work? Whether you're buying them at a GNC or you're buying them online, how do you really know they work? Unless you're testing, and everybody's different. So when it comes to the fatty acid test, something I had to be educated about, I didn't realize, but Zinzino had the biggest database in the world. They tested 1.3 million people. That's a huge sample. And what they found is that 97% of the people fail that test. But when they started taking their balanced oil product, which is a combination of omega-3 and polyphenols, again, things I didn't pay attention to, that as they started to take this affordable product every day, in just 120 days, 95% of them found themselves in balance. Now, what does that even mean? Why is that important? When I first looked at Zinzino, I realized, being in direct selling for so long, that there's always a new company. There's always a new story about some new miracle ingredient that was found in some faraway exotic land. And they looked under this tree, and under the tree was a frog, and under the frog was a piece of moss. And then under the moss was, voila, the magic potion. So I automatically said, okay, is Zinzino just another story? Is it a Me Too company? And the first thing I looked at was a scientific advisory board. Then I learned that the combined group of people on this board have hundreds of medical papers, published, peer-reviewed medical papers out in the marketplace, head up by Dr. Paul Clayton, who's the chief scientific officer. I just read one of his books yesterday, and it's impressive when you start reading them. I got to know Colin Robinson personally, and Dr. Angela Rizzo. Just 2 months ago, we were launching the business in Italy, and we met her. She came down from the University of Milan, where she's a professor there, and she told us about her 30 years working with omegas and studying this subject. And she was part of the team that developed the test that was eventually developed for the use in the space station for the astronauts, so they could do a dry blood spot test and do the analysis to keep track of what was happening with the astronauts. So she was just brilliant, talked way over my head. But again, I was impressed. Now, when I looked at Zinzino, I called on two friends of mine who happened to be on today, but I didn't give them a heads up on this at all. But I called my dear friend Stephen Cherniske. I've known him for 30 years. He's a biochemist. He taught clinical nutrition at two Southern California universities, directed the first FDA licensed clinical laboratory specializing in nutrition and immunology. He's a best-selling author, wrote the DHEA Breakthrough and other books, over 1 million copies, and his brilliant wife, Natalie Cathers, also works in family medicine. She specializes in women's health and anti-aging. She has served as the principal investigator in clinical trials in both pharma and natural product arena. So when you evaluate a business, what do you talk to your friend, your brother, your cousin, whoever? I went to experts because I knew I had a lot of people depending on me to lead them to a serious company with serious potential. And I had them look at several companies' portfolios. And Stephen came back as a guy that's been the CSO, like Paul Clayton, for four other companies, even was the president of a company that he co-founded that went to about $1 billion a year in turnover. And he actually built the largest medicinal plant-based library for that company. And here Stephen came on, he said, Artie, not only do I feel like Zenzino, if you're looking at science and you're looking at cutting edge things, somebody's doing it right, doing it different, you got to look at Zenzino. So I said, what am I looking at? He says, you need to go and start doing your own homework. He said, go out and Google, things like what silent chronic inflammation is. And I did. And this is what I saw. It's low grade inflammation that lingers in the body for months or even years. It's invisible to us, but it starts as mild symptoms: cough, cold, joint stiffness, migraine, mood, digestive fatigue. And again, alone, does that even make much of a difference? But the more you read about the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, he said they were testing for real science. And so I went and I started Googling it. And I found out the average in the Western diet, according to PubMed, where I got this, the National Library of Medicine in the United States, is that the Western diet is producing an average of 15 or 16 to 1. Okay. And historically, it used to probably be like 1 to 1. But science says if you're in the 3 to 1 category, what Zenzino proposes is everybody should be 3 omega-6 to 1 omega-3, where omega-6 tends to create inflammation that's harmful or inflammation, and omega-3 actually helps to suppress it. And what you see here in this little thing I saw from one of the articles, it says, when you have a high level of omega-6 and a low level of omega-3, it can lead to diseases such as cardiovascular, cancer, inflammatory, autoimmune, where you have increased levels of omega-3. It's suppressive in its effects. And then the last line I want you to read is the prevention of cardiovascular disease. A ratio of 4 to 1 was associated with a 70% decrease in total mortality. Look, I'm not making claims. I'm not a scientist. All I know is this is what's out there if you Google the importance of omega-6 to omega-3. So wouldn't you want to know if you're 4 to 1 or 3 to 1? I certainly would, and so what you need to realize is you can overcome these situations. You can reduce inflammation in your body. And this is what it also said on PubMed. To overcome silent inflammation requires that you have an anti-inflammatory diet with omega-3s and polyphenols. And that is what is at the basis of the balance between from Zenzino. And then I went on to learn things like this, that when you have an out-of-balance cell, it's hard to get the nutrients in and the waste comes out slowly. Where if you have a healthy cell and the balance of the fatty acids, which is the membrane around the cell, the nutrients get in properly and the waste comes out. So this affects brain function, hair quality, heart function, skin elasticity, and organs, joints, and muscles. Again, if you're out of balance, which according to Zenzino's data, 97% of the planet is out in America. Oh my gosh, we're the worst in the world. 99.5%. They found that only 1 in 200 people are passing it. And that's even the people taking omega supplements. So this is really remarkable. So people that are on these products, I've met so many people, they report visible signs like hair and skin and nails, but aches and pains. I just met some people that had some amazing stories. I heard stories from people that, were dealing with mood disorders and social anxiety and the effect of the products on them. So we're hearing stories all over the place, because what's at the core of the Zenzino message is if we can get your cell health right, then your body can operate more effectively. You can help protect yourself. So we don't guess, we test. That's what makes Zenzino different. You may have a great product, you may have a great company, but how do you really know if you're not testing? Science, they want to test. We focus on the balance test for omegas, but we also have the vitamin D test and the HbA1c, which, unfortunately, I came out with a moderate risk of coming up with diabetes. So the good thing is I can do something about it. And when you go on the balance test website, it gave you all this great information about lifestyle choice and diets and things I can do, products I could take that make a difference. So again, I'm not going to be the scientist. I'm not the scientist. I'm just telling you that when you do that test, Zeno's not doing the test results. I had a sales guy say, yeah, sure, Zeno's doing the test. Of course, they're going to say everybody's out of balance. I say, no, 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 no. It's going to Vetus Analytical Services, which is a laboratory in Oslo. I had a chance with Stacy to go up. I actually toured the facility twice. I met Dr. Gunderson, who founded the facility. Zeno just happens to be their largest commercial customer, and they do business with Harvard University, University of Cambridge, King College London, Max Planck Institute. It goes on and on and on. Mass General, since I'm from New England, I was impressed by all of that. So when I realized that this is professionally managed, that it's their test, that with Zeno's effort, we have been just exploding their business. We're testing more than 20, it's probably about 30,000 people a month right now are testing. So this is incredible. Again, the results all over the world are not good. 1.3 million people tested, and the number is growing rapidly. So the largest database is Zeno controls it, and they know we can fix the problem with this single product, Zeno Balance Oil. We believe it's the best product in class in the market because there's so many omegas out there. And again, I'm not the expert to talk about it. We have many experts coming on board who are much more skilled at this than I am. But at least what I know about this is that the combination of polyphenols from pre-harvested olives is about 300 of them in this bottle, and the other things that are in there, along with the omega-3, it really changes people's lives, and we prove it with a second test in 120 days. There's 15 different claims by the European Food Safety Authority. I highlighted the optimal heart immune function, maintain optimal healthy brain function, maintain optimal healthy heart function, but it goes on and on and on. In Germany alone, there's over 1,000 clinics, homeopaths, there's physiologists, there's chiropractors, there's dentists. They're retailing this test and the product. They could care less that we're doing direct selling or network marketing. So that's the level of professionalism that this company has. That's what makes Zeno different. I've been talking to friends of mine, they're experts in this industry as well, others that have made a lot of money as I have. And I said, this is the big one. And I see people transitioning from many companies because they see it. We have professional athletes. We have, I don't know how many, I think there's 100 or 200 brand ambassadors. Nobody is paid to be an ambassador, but they take the product because they want to optimize their health, and they're at all levels. I just got the word today that in Madrid, I forget, it's not Real Madrid, it's the other Madrid football team at Emetico. I know some of my Europeans watching are laughing at me because I'm a U.S. sports guy, but they are actually all being tested for the product right now. So, and there's also Manchester City, one of the big football clubs. They're all on the products. Okay, retail customers. I've seen the receipts. So we have something pretty special going on with Zeno, but it's not just the balance oil. They realize that to have really good optimal health, optimal nutrition, you need to address some other issues. The balance is number one. Let's get your omegas right, support your healthy heart and brain, but then we got to restore the gut. Gut health is so important. It helps to balance cholesterol levels, and what I've learned is the key to your immune system starts in your gut. But then the other product called Extend, I learned from Dr. Gunderson, who said that when he learned about Extend and studied, he said it was the most sophisticated products Zeno had, and that it actually has, and they call it a multi-immune product, and that other companies would have made 7 different products to retail at a health food store out of that. Viva is a product that is for more of a mental health type product. It helps with mood. It helps with sleep. A lot of people have trouble sleeping, and this is a great product. But a lot of people are just so stressed about life today that a couple of these tablets, 20 minutes months later, they're already feeling the difference. We're hearing loads of different testimonials. So that's what we call our health protocol premium. I think everybody in the planet should be using all 4 products. But the great thing is Enzino has a bigger product line. I remember Stephen Cherniske told me when he first looked at, the product line and the formulations, he came back and he said Xenogene is one of the most advanced anti-aging products he's ever seen in the world. In fact, my partner Stacy is taking a regimen right now. Every quarter, every 3 months, they suggest you do a spring cleaning and you go on a 10-day regimen and it cleans all the cells that need to be taken out of that are not living well, that are dead, that should be gone. It helps clean out. Again, Dr. Paul Clayton has videos and data on this. Again, we got some skin care and some weight management. But again, I'm getting heavy into the science, which is really not my thing, but hopefully I'm hitting the points and saying things correctly, especially with Steve and Natalie watching. But at the end here, what I really look at is the business and the timing. What I learned about Enzino is we have a company that is targeting a goal in 2050 of 100 million customers. Now, is that just sales talk? Is that just, a lofty goal without real science of possibility? Let's say that in business. And then I went back and I talked to the CEO, Doug Peterson, and I talked to the founder, Orion Sali, and they said, Artie, we're just going by numbers. We look at the fact that the World Health Organization says 6.3 billion people on the planet are deficient. We're going to build a global brand. We're opening everywhere. We believe direct selling and network marketing is the fastest way to educate the people about taking this test and helping the paradigm shift to happen where the whole world, the average common person like me, would know that you need to know this information. We want to get ahead of it, and then it's someday in the future, this will be a common part of your physical, your annual checkup, your annual blood panel. We believe that, whether it's 10 years, 15 years, but this is where we are. And the reason I made so much money in my last company is I took a story about deregulation and services. I took it from America around the world when people didn't know about it, and I was at the right place at the right time and made a fortune. Well, we're going to do the same thing with Enzino, and this time I'm bringing a European company back to America. So we're targeting 2025 to be over 1 million, 2023 to be at 20 million, and by 2050 to be 100 million. That would make Enzino a $40 billion company, and I believe it is possible. That's only 1.5% of the 6.3 billion people on the planet that are deficient. So the timing is perfect. So let's talk about starting in the business. For those that tuned in, maybe you're not science focused, maybe you're not, a fitness guy, you think, okay, it's all nice, sounds good, but I'm here to make money. I'm sure that's why some of you are tuned in. That's why I got started in this industry 34 years ago, being 29 years old, being below broke, playing in a rock band. I was so sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck that I was looking for any way to make enough money to start a family, buy a house one day. And I certainly didn't like working for someone else. So when I learned I could start my own business and for very little money, I could get started in direct selling, which is very similar to franchising and distribution, I started becoming an expert at it. Now, a lot of people talk. You could make money without any proof. With Enzino, what I'm showing you here is a company slide where people are making money from the lowest level bronze all the way up to their top level. They actually beyond global president. So if you wanted to make an extra few $100s a month, it's being done by thousands of people. You want to make 1,000? Again, it's done by thousands of people. You want to make 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. In fact, if you want to make $1 million, 2 million, 3 million, even $4 million a year in Enzino, it's already been done. It's being done right now. And they're doing it with only 20,000 partners. They're doing it with only 500,000 customers and $180 million or so in total revenue. This is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. I know it with every thread of my being. And that's why I'm talking to all my friends. I'm talking to my family. And I'm just educating. I'm saying, look, at least take care of your health. But if you want to make money, get your own, become a partner, get your own online store, and let's get going. Now, how does this work? How do people make this money? Let me take you through the steps. While you can get a shop for free and you can make 10 to 30% on the retailing of the products, just directing people to your store, the best way to start is to pick a kit. And that means you can get a basic kit, an advanced kit, or an ultimate partner kit. Like any business, you invest in some inventory, get some products. And you can start for as little as 360, or you can start for as much as 1150. Now, the ultimate partner kit is what most serious people do. Why? Because you get 10 of these balance tests, which you're going to need for your family, and you're going to use those tests to attract future customers and business partners. You get a chance to sample some of the shakes that we have, the lean shakes, the skin serum, the energy bars, which I ate 2 today because I've been intermittent fasting in between today. So I had a couple of those once I got past my period. But you get some of the Xeno, the vitamin D, you get all these different products, but it's key to get the ultimate pack. It really puts you in the best financial position. You can turn about 1,150 into over 3,000 if you just want to retail the product. I know one woman that owns a yoga studio that just from selling the test at retail and the balance oil made all her money back in just weeks. So there's all kinds of options there, but you pick what's right for you and your financial situation. Okay. Now, the great part about starting with the ultimate, if you get 25 customers, what we call premier customers, premier means subscription customers. If you get 25 customers within 1 year, and when I say customer, I don't mean 25 people. I mean, Stacy and I are considered 12 customers because each product is considered a customer. So I'd rather say 25 customer points. It makes more sense to me. So Stacy and I are like 12 or 14 points every month. So if you had only 25 of those in the course of a year, at the end of the year, you get back the starter fee for your kit, which is incredible. So that is one of the reasons we all started Ultimate Partner Kit. Now, to earn money in your network of shops, as you start introducing people to the business, of course, you can get your retail commission, but as you introduce people to the business, the computer needs to know you have an active business. So to participate in what we call our Fast Start program and how to get qualified for overrides, you can sign up as a business owner, sign up for the balance oil, get a test every 4 months. The test retails for roughly $185 a month, and you get access to a support app. But this gives you the credits. We call credits means your credit value is what we pay commissions on. It's the commissionable value of each product. So anyway, you get an override commission based on your credits, and you stay qualified by just having one product that you'll consume every month anyway. But you can get your products for free. Refer 4 customers or 4 product points. In fact, I did that myself. I became my own customer, ordered 4 products. My $79 product a month was free. Then Stacy wanted to be a customer because she wanted to be on the health protocol and buy the skincare. She became a customer. And right now we have 39 customer points in just 8 weeks. And that means actually we're getting the 4 premier customers. Those products are free, plus my other products free. I now have 5 free products every month just from referrals of customers buying products. And I'm making a retail commission 10 to 30%. So we need to know the comp plan in more detail. So far, I'm just talking about getting some product, getting a store, making some retail, getting some free products. Zinzino pays back 50% of all the revenue that comes in from the customers. And all the money that comes in from is every euro that's spent, 50% goes back in commissions and perks. Let me just again talk about the retail. Let's say you are a chiropractor or you just want to be doing this part-time and you want to share the good news about, the balance test and about the Zinzino product line. When up to 24 customers, you're making a 10% cash bonus. I call it a retail bonus. Okay. When you get to 25, then you're making 20%. So I passed that number and now we're making 20%. That's actually giving us about $230 a month. Plus we're getting doubled residual on all of our reorders. So that's another big key to get to 25 customer points because it doubles the residual on all of your organization's customers. Our next target is we hope to be Sunday past the 50. We got a friend coming on that's going to sign up the health protocol for he and his wife. So that would push me up to 25%. 100 is our goal. We met a woman today that that just did this. It's 10,000 euros or 11,500 that's paid as a one-time bonus. They spread it out over 25 months. In the US, that's 460 a month. So when you get to 100 customer points, again, that could be 10 homes with 10 points. You're getting about $1,035 in monthly residual. You're getting $575 because every 100 services averages out to be about $575 average residual for your customers. And then with 460, because you hit the 11,500 for the next 25 months, you're going to get, that to total 11,500. So that's a way to make an extra 9,000 plus, or 9 to 12,000 a month. 9 to 12,000 a year. Get to 200 customers. Now you can make yourself over 21,000, around 21,000 a year, extra income. So again, if you're not a networker, you don't want to talk to people about a business opportunity, this is your plan. That's for you. Okay. If you're somebody who's a dentist or a chiropractor, you want to just make some extra money, you're a homeopath, you should absolutely be doing Zinzino. Okay. But let's talk about team effort. Would you rather own a McDonald's and sell burgers, or would you rather be McDonald's Corporation and earn a percentage of every McDonald's all over the world? So that's the concept of direct selling. We want to duplicate the business. We want to follow a system. Zinzino has a 120-day fast start program, and I'm going to do some training with you on this so you understand it. When I get somebody in, this is exactly what I did, and it's exactly what I want them to do, but I don't want it to take 120 days, but they give you that time. And what I'm going to show you will allow you to earn over $2,800. Now you can do that in 2 weeks, or you can do that in 4 months, or you can not do it at all, but it's up to you to follow the program. How does it work? You pick a pack, you get one product on auto order, like I showed you. Get 4 customer subscriptions that total 20 credits, and now you're looking at $115 coming back to you right away, plus you're going to get your auto order free every month. Okay, so that's covered. That's something that Stacey and I did the first week because we realized even with the Ultimate Package wasn't enough product for us. We needed to know that next month we would have products to use. In fact, even with both of us on auto order, we still had to place an extra order because we wanted some other products this month. So what is our next goal? I don't want to just do retail. That's not why I joined Zinzino. That's great for you, maybe, but I wanted to build a network. That's what I've been doing for almost 35 years. I've been showing people a better way to earn. I teach them about residual income. Why have a job where you just get a salary? Look, I've talked to professional people that make $100,000, $200,000 a year as a salary for the year. And then they still got to be basically working for someone else, building someone else's dream. In our business, I've made double that in a month. And someone who didn't even finish college. I had 2 years of college. I played in a rock band. My hair was down to here. I was below broke at 29, but you know what I had? I had desire to change. I was coachable. I said, show me a better way. And when I really learned about this industry, which is a $176 billion industry, which wellness is the top selling segment, I realized, yes, there's a lot of misinformed and uninformed people, but you can't argue with a $176 billion market. It's obviously working for somebody. Zinzino is doing it better and doing it differently. You cannot deny the science of Zinzino. It would be illogical to deny it. Now, how does the business part work is up to us to teach you. So what we want to do is find 2 people. Do you know 2 people that would like the concept of making extra money, that would like the concept of maybe a career change, that would like to have a dream to know that there's a business just on the ground floor, exploding through North America, going around the world, that will be a multi-billion-dollar company and they can position with it, backed by science, backed with a product that's going to make an impact in people's lives? Absolutely. We'll help you find 2 people. We sponsor one left, we sponsor one right. This is a binary compensation plan. I'm not doing a full training today, but I'm going to show you what happens. Let's say I got an ultimate pack and I sponsored friend number A. So Stacy becomes A, she decides to get her own ultimate pack. I got my friend Linda, she's B, she gets another ultimate pack. When you do that, okay, that's basically wholesale business. You put a promotional bonus of $460 in your pocket for just that. Okay, now what you want to do is help those 2 who now have their own online store, help them each find 2 people that want an online store. And they give you 90 days to complete the next step, which we want to do in less than 60 days. You can do it in 1 month if you want. But when we do this in 90 days or less, let's say they each got an ultimate pack, there's 1,380 from your wholesale business, wholesaling products, opening up stores, getting them to get some sample products to work with. Okay, you'd make another 1,380 in addition. Okay, the next step they want is to go what they call X team, X meaning 10, get 10 products on subscription between your team. Stacy and I did that the first week when we figured out the comp plan, we said, well, wait a minute. Why don't you be a customer of me being a customer? And so we added immediately, we had 10 customers within our home, 50 credits, 10 customers that paid us an extra 173. What I didn't realize is that we made 21.28 from those bonuses. We did it in just a couple weeks. And then we made a retail bonus on the products. Then we made a residual on the stores. They call it team commission, your overrides. You can make 10 to 15% of the sales of all the shops in your organization. To infinity, you can make 10 to 15%. And then you get title bonuses by moving up to different positions. You earn a title, and those bonuses can get into the thousands. And then you add a new title. So the total income, if you did exactly what we taught you in 120 days, you're making $28.75 back from what you paid to get started in the business. And then on top of that, think about it, you only got to get to 25 customer points and you already got all of your starter feedback too. So this fast start is what we teach. It's what we duplicate. It's the main part of the comp plan that gets the duplication to happen properly. And then the incomes can just grow from there. They call you a bronze when you sponsored your 2 partners, each with an equivalent of an ultimate pack. They can certainly do smaller packs. When you get to silver, you've helped 2 to teach 2. Now you're at silver. Silver is the key because at this point you made all your fast start money, but it's about residual. Those customers reordering every month will pay you about $230 per month. Okay. And then now you're silver, duplication becomes the key. When you help 4 silvers in your team, any line, you now, and that's with everybody helping you build those 2 lines. Now you're making $920 per month and you become an executive. When you help 4 people become executive, you now make the diamond level, and that's $4,600 a month in residual. We're just talking in residual, not the wholesale income, which is a whole nother level of income. And then what happens? You help 4 diamonds, you make crown, and that's over 13,800 per month. We did crown in 3 weeks, not because I'm a new person. I promise you, it's because I've been doing this for a while. And I have a lot of people that believe in what we do, work together with me. I have some amazing friends that are excited that they have a new life with Zinzino. And we're out to make one last run as we take Zinzino to be a multi-billion-dollar global brand. And you can be part of that. You can be on the ground floor. Okay. In fact, if you look at this slide again, by just building 2 teams and helping those 2 and helping those 2, I have a training where I can show you how to be a black crown and surpass 23,000 in 1 year. That doesn't mean everybody does it, but it's a simple system and it's easier than you think, but you got to have customers. No customers, no money. Okay. That's the reality. Okay. So yes, I'm going to talk to my brother, my mother, my sister, my friends. We all do that. We want to share the good word about what we're doing here. So again, Black Crown is something we did in the following month. So we've already surpassed Black Crown. And when they said $23,000 a month, the truth is it was a lot more because they're just talking about customer residual, not all the wholesale business for people buying packs. You can start another team and move to higher incomes. You can start 4 teams because when you get a pack, you actually get 3 income centers. We can explain that another time. But that means you can build up to 4 teams. You don't want to be building 4 right away unless you got experience at this. But that is the eventual goal. And then that way you have the potential of going all the way to global president. So with that, guys, I take you through everything I'm doing here. Bottom line, Zinzino is what? A proven company, publicly traded, transparency on the financials, proven products, absolutely. proof of concept. Can we really get people to take the test? A friend that I was introduced to, someone who's become a friend of mine, who's got a very big background in omega in the traditional selling market for omegas for one of the biggest companies in the world doing omega. And he was most impressed with is how our direct selling model could actually get people to take the test. So yes, proof of concept. Proven earnings, absolutely. Position for growth, absolutely. Now the question is, what are you looking for? What do you want to accomplish? So with that, Stephen, could you just share with everybody your thoughts on your experience with Zinzino right now and how you and Natalie both came to, want the decision to be Zinzino?
Well, like you said, if you look at the shortcut, and the shortcut is, did they have real scientists, right? Not just an actor with a white coat and a stethoscope around his or her neck. Yeah, the answer was big check mark there, right? At the same time, the scientists by themselves cannot really move the ball down the field. They need a laboratory. The laboratory needs to be well equipped. And so the check mark there was big because Vitas Laboratory is one of the most highly respected labs in the world. So now you got real scientists with a real laboratory. And now you got to say, well, what kind of research are they doing? Is it really cutting edge, right? And that means, do they publish? And like you said, Artie, one member of the science advisory board from Zinzino already by himself has 200 published studies. So the point is, yes, you put a big check mark next to published studies. Now, finally, you look at that and you go, okay, so yeah, the good scientists, good laboratory, definite possibilities here, but are they doing breakthrough research? Are we at the front of the parade here? And the answer is yes. How do you evaluate that? You look at their patent portfolio. Big check mark there for Zinzino. So when you put all that together, it was a no think, Artie. This was a company that deserves the attention and the accolades, and we are excited to be part of it.
It's true. And we love the products. We love the health protocol premium with the test because people can test themselves, then start the balance oil, but then they also get the benefit of the xenobiotic, prebiotic, better gut health. They get the extend, better immunity. People are noticing better energy from that. And then, of course, my favorite product, the Viva, which brings better mental clarity, better nervous system health. I have great sleep with happy, colorful dreams, wake up feeling refreshed, and that happiness just carries me through the day. I'm such a fan of Viva. Yeah.
I'm just so grateful that you took the time to research all those companies' products. I know you read so much data, and when you came back and kept telling me about your belief in Zinzino, I had to keep digging deeper into Zinzino's comp plan and really the people behind it, the people in the field, to see what they've been doing, how they've been doing it, and to see if we could do it as good or even better. And I believe we can do it as good, but in fact, the truth is, I think we're going to do it even bigger and better.